After more than a decade away from the ring, AJ Lee is finally set to make her WWE return, with her comeback match scheduled for Wrestlepalooza later this month. WWE itself has not officially confirmed the news, but the surprise may have already been spoiled, this time by WWE Shop. The slip came when a fan took to Twitter, jokingly asking why there was no AJ Lee merchandise available and claiming they'd be forced to wear normal clothes to watch Smackdown this week. In an unexpected turn, WWE Shop responded directly and revealed more than they intended. The account wrote that with AJ Lee returning to the ring, new merchandise was already in the works and could be ready in time for Wrestlepalooza. They even encouraged fans to sign up for email alerts to secure the new gear as soon as it dropped. The message was quickly deleted, but the damage was done. Even without WWE's official word, anticipation for Lee's return is running wild. The September 5th, 2025 Smackdown in Rosemont, Illinois has seen a major ticket surge. According to WrestleTix, as of September 3rd, only 64 tickets remain out of the 15,356 at Allstate Arena. That's 15,292 tickets already distributed, including 453 in the last 24 hours, well above WWE's 2025 average of 11,352 per show. As we reported yesterday, PW Insider and Brian Alvarez both have suggested that Lee's comeback won't be a one-off. Instead, fans should expect to see her regularly on WWE programming once she's back. The only question now is timing. Will WWE pull the trigger on her return at SmackDown in Chicago, or hold her debut until Wrestlepalooza itself? Do you think AJ Lee will step back into a WWE ring before Wrestlepalooza, or will her long-awaited return be saved for the big stage? Share your thoughts in the comments below. With buzz building around AJ Lee's possible return to WWE, a debate has surfaced over how the company is currently handling these kind of moments under Triple H's creative direction. Critics point to a trend known as plotting out the pops. Instead of crafting long-term narratives, WWE appears more focused on timing big returns or surprise appearances solely to trigger instant reactions from the live crowd. Whether it's The Rock, Rusev, Aleister Black, or even Brock Lesnar, the strategy feels the same: send someone out, get the loud ovation, and then move on without fully capitalizing on the momentum. The issue isn't the return itself, it's what happens afterward. Rather than using these surprise comebacks as the foundation for engaging storylines, they tend to fizzle out once the initial excitement wears off. What should be a launch pad for a meaningful angle too often ends up as a one-off moment that doesn't push the product forward in any significant way. So wrestling fans, do you agree with this criticism? With AJ Lee's comeback potentially on the horizon, let's hope WWE books her well. WWE's attention is firmly locked on Wrestlepalooza, set to take place in less than 3 weeks. The premium live event will be historic, marking WWE's first broadcast on ESPN, and because of that, several other plans have quietly been pushed aside this month. According to Bodyslam.net, one of the biggest changes is the cancellation of the WWE Draft. Despite speculation it would be held in September, sources note the company has opted against a full-scale roster shakeup. In fact, smaller adjustments have already been happening, with LA Knight moving to Raw and Sami Zayn shifting over to SmackDown. Roman Reigns has also been making more appearances on Raw, where his feud with Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship continues to unfold. Instead of relying on a single draft night, WWE appears to be slowly making tweaks to balance both rosters. That leaves questions about potential NXT call-ups. Many top stars in the past, including Alexa Bliss, Finn Balor, Nia Jax, and most recently Kiana James, arrived through drafts. Without one scheduled, it remains uncertain if fresh talent will be added to the main roster in the coming weeks. Another issue is Cody Rhodes' absence. Initially away filming Street Fighter, Rhodes and his wife Brandy recently welcomed their second daughter, which could extend his time off. With Wrestlepalooza taking place on September 20th, SmackDown may need someone to step into his role as WWE works to fill the gap. Do you think WWE needs a full draft to shake things up, or should the company continue to bring in new talent through surprise appearances instead? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Matt Riddle's feud with CM Punk has taken a sharp turn from professional rivalry to deeply personal attacks, and now AJ Lee has been brought into the mix. During his appearance on TMZ Inside the Ring, Riddle didn't hold back, once again targeting Punk's credibility as both a fighter and a personality. He openly challenged Punk to meet him in any legitimate combat sport, insisting he would embarrass him without issue. CM Punk's he can't beat me in a fight. If he wants to step up, he can meet me in a bare-knuckle boxing fight, in an MMA cage, whatever, dude. From there, Riddle accused Punk of spending too much time backstage at NXT, where he suggested Punk was less of a mentor and more of a creep, particularly regarding his connection with younger talent like Cora Jade. I think he's fake, and I think he's a creep, I don't know. I feel like he's just lingering around the NXT locker room a little too much. There's a lot of things about him. He has like Cora Jade as his daughter and everything, and everybody he kind of oversees. When the host suggests that Punk was mentoring the stars, Riddle fired back sarcastically, "That's one way of putting it." But the segment escalated even further once Punk's wife AJ Lee was brought into the conversation. At first, Riddle seemed neutral, noting, "Well, AJ, I have no problems with her, she never stepped into it." Moments later, though, he shifted tone, making a comment that quickly raised eyebrows. "I mean, to be fair, and I'm not one to talk, I'm a little myself, but she did go get around from what I heard, but no disrespect to that." Riddle tried to soften the remark by comparing it to his own lifestyle, adding, "Hey, it's whatever, people like to hook up, and if that's the worst thing he did, whatever dude, I've done it too." The comments made it clear that Riddle has no interest in keeping his feud with Punk inside the ring. By taking shots at AJ Lee, he's blurred the line between storyline trash talk and personal attack, leaving many wondering just how Punk will respond. Do you think Matt Riddle crossed the line by bringing AJ Lee into the feud, or is this just another layer of his fight with CM Punk? And while this feud continues to heat up, Riddle is also fighting battles outside the ring. The former WWE star has come under heavy fire after it was alleged that he intentionally no-showed Global Wrestling Kingdom's debut event in the UK, a charity show designed to support young fans. The backlash has been intense, with both industry names and fans criticizing him for letting kids down. Riddle has since taken to Instagram to defend himself, sharing a video response stating,
"I'm gonna make this quick. GWK, the reason I didn't go is because you booked me a flight for Thursday for a show that was happening Sunday, and you said you were booking me meet and greets, other matches, and appearances. You did none of that. I had nothing scheduled, and I was going to sit in a hotel room for 2 days in London. I told you multiple times I can't do that or wouldn't do that, and I got work for Friday and Saturday. And Thursday. I worked Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And I told you I'd fly to London Saturday evening. You said you paid for it. I go, no, you paid for it. Take it out of my pay. Whatever. You guys refused. So I flew to Miami and wrestled there. All right? I never said I wouldn't pay you guys back. That's a lie. Also, this show wasn't a charity event. That's a lie. That was a last-second change. You also booked me the worst flight in history, bro. Middle seat, no meal, no checked bag. GWK, this is probably your last run.
Shortly after this video, Riddle took to his Instagram story and uploaded a screenshot of his DMs. In the messages, the promotion expressed disappointment, writing that many children were left upset by his absence. Riddle fired back, accusing them of slander and claiming he wasn't given proper notice. He added that his lawyer would be getting involved, and while he intended to send the money they were requesting, the damage to his reputation could impact that. "I guess it's cooler to just talk and try to ruin someone's career than accept money," Riddle wrote in frustration. The leaked exchanges have only fueled the controversy, adding yet another layer of drama to Riddle's already turbulent post-WWE career. What's your take? Did Matt Riddle mishandle the UK charity show situation, or is he being unfairly targeted by GWK and the fans? Naomi's surprise pregnancy announcement last month forced her to vacate the Women's World Championship, and WWE wasted no time in setting the stage for a new champion to be crowned. While the title will be decided soon, reports suggest the company may already have big plans in place for a familiar face. The following news segment features a majored spoiler, so if you don't want to know, then skip ahead. According to Billy Body of the Dirty Sheets Wrestling Informer podcast, WWE's current direction is for Rhea Ripley to reclaim the Women's World Championship next month at the Crown Jewel Premium Live event in Australia. The report further noted that Ripley is expected to end her losing streak against Io Sky as part of her road back to the top. As things stand, the plan is for Rhea Ripley to recapture the vacant championship in her home country of Australia at the WWE Crown Jewel PLE next month. It's also believed that Rhea Ripley will end her losing streak to Io Sky en route to reclaiming the championship. For now, Io Sky is booked to face Stephanie Vaquer at Wrestlepalooza in Indianapolis, where the winner will walk away as the new Women's World Champion. That match will set the stage for Ripley's comeback, with WWE planning for her to capture the title in front of a hometown crowd in Perth on October 11th at the RAC Arena. Ripley is still engaged in a feud with Asuka, but it's clear WWE has major plans for the Eradicator. A triumphant return in her home country, combined with snapping her losing skid against Io Sky, would certainly cement her status as one of the most dominant stars in the division. And it's not just WWE fans talking about Ripley, she's also catching the attention of major names outside of the ring. Drake just gave WWE fans something to talk about, and it has nothing to do with his music. The 5-time Grammy Award-winning rapper mentioned Rhea Ripley during his appearance on Not This Again with Bobby Altov, calling the WWE star his muse. While scrolling through his phone, Drake explained why his feed seemed filled with Rhea Ripley content. "I don't have data, I'm trying to pull up Tyga's Instagram. My FYP page is just all Rhea Ripley. She's a wrestler, she's like my muse, but I'm the opposite of probably everything that she likes." The remarks immediately tied back to Drake's appearance at WWE Elimination Chamber in Toronto earlier this year, where he was spotted in the crowd. While he rarely dives into wrestling chatter, calling Ripley his muse has now fueled crossover buzz among fans. Do you think Rhea Ripley will respond to Drake's comments? And could we one day see the two interact on WWE television? Let us know what you think in the comments. AJ Mana found himself at the center of controversy after Raja Jackson's brutal assault on Syko Stu, and at first, he claimed the fallout had cost him his day job. Mana has backtracked on those statements, offering a more detailed explanation. Speaking on Something to Wrestle, Mana clarified that he was not fired for any conviction or crime, but rather because of the negative publicity surrounding his name. According to him, his employers pointed directly to TMZ's coverage, which labeled him as an accessory to attempted murder. That kind of attention, they said, was something they could not afford. "Okay, when it comes to my shoot day job, it wasn't because of a conviction or anything. There's no crime I actually committed. It was more about me bringing bad attention. They told me, we saw this thing on TMZ about you being an accessory to an attempted murder, and we just can't have that traffic come our way. So technically, I'm not fired, but they're not really asking me to come back to work until this whole thing blows over." This clarification came after Mana had previously claimed he was fired outright following his appearance on Raja Jackson's Kick livestream, where he was caught telling Raja to give Stu a receipt. Meanwhile, Syko Stu appears to be preparing his own response. During the Scaling Up podcast, Doug the Epic Malo revealed that Stu has already involved lawyers and that legal action against Raja Jackson is a strong likelihood. Malo explained that the process is ongoing, but all signs point to Raja facing serious legal consequences. The situation has also drawn public comments from Raja's father, Rampage. Speaking on the Ariel Helwani show, Rampage confirmed his son remains at home as they await an arrest warrant. He admitted that he has no intention of turning Raja in himself, but acknowledged the legal system will eventually take over. "He's at home. We've been waiting for an arrest warrant. I wasn't going to turn him in, so we've been waiting for an arrest warrant or whatever. I did what my job is as a father, to still take care of my son. I still love him, even though I'm upset." Rampage stressed that while he is disappointed in his son's actions, he still feels a duty to support him as a father. With video evidence and witness testimony already in circulation, it appears inevitable that Raja Jackson will be arrested. The only question left is not if it'll happen, but when. This case has grown beyond a wrestling controversy, moving firmly into the realm of criminal justice. As lawyers prepare their arguments and authorities move closer to action, one thing is clear: the fallout from Raja Jackson's attack on Syko Stu will not be resolved in the ring, but in the courtroom. The US government is taking a firm stance against any possibility of pre-trial release for Sean Chan, the Canadian man accused of stalking Liv Morgan. In a newly filed motion, federal prosecutors urged the court to keep Chan behind bars until his trial begins in November, rejecting his legal team's proposal for him to be released into a Salvation Army facility in Florida while awaiting proceedings. Prosecutors made their position clear, stating, "The defendant, Sean Chan, is a danger to the community, a serious risk of flight, and there are no conditions of release that will reasonably assure Chan's appearance at further proceedings of this case. The United States requests that Chan remain detained pending trial." The filing also dismissed the defense's argument that securing a Salvation Army bed should be reason enough to reconsider detention. Instead, the government pointed to several troubling details about Chan's background and his actions towards Morgan. They highlighted his lack of ties to Florida, his Canadian citizenship, and the fact that he is not legally authorized to work in the United States. Prosecutors further raised mental health concerns, noting that while Chan initially denied having any issues, his counsel has indicated that Chan is being evaluated for competency. The timeline of events adds further weight to the case. On May 26, Chan flew from Scarborough, Ontario to Orlando. At customs, he bizarrely claimed he would be staying at the WWE Performance Center, despite the facility not offering residential housing. 4 days later, he went to Liv Morgan's home, circled the property, entered her backyard, picked up an air pellet from the porch, and left a disturbing handwritten note after waiting outside for hours. FBI agents arrested Chan on June 3rd after WWE security identified him from Liv Morgan's home surveillance footage. He was formally indicted on June 25th and now faces up to 5 years in prison on a federal charge of interstate domestic violence. For now, Chan remains in custody at Hernando County, Florida, as the court decides whether he should remain detained or be released under supervision. Do you think the court should keep Sean Chan in custody until trial, or does his defense deserve another look? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Ronda Rousey has closed the door on pro wrestling, and this time she isn't leaving much room for doubt. Nearly 2 years removed from her last WWE match, the former UFC megastar made it clear on the Lapsed Fan podcast that she considers herself retired from the business. When asked directly if she was done, Rousey replied, "Pretty much, I'd say so. I got into WWE because I wanted to be able to wrestle with my girls, you know, the 4 horsewomen, and be able to wrestle with my friends. And they kind of dangled that carrot for my whole run and never let it happen." The 4 horsewomen Rousey referred to, herself, Shayna Baszler, Jessamine Duke, and Marina Shafir, had been teased for years as a faction in WWE, but that storyline never materialized. Rousey revealed that during her second stint, she made it clear she wouldn't return unless she could finally team up with Baszler. And then the second run, they kept dangling it. And by the end, I was like, I'm fucking leaving unless I can wrestle with Shayna Baszler. And that's how I was able to do it at all. In reflecting on her own decision to walk away, Rousey admitted the frustration came from never being allowed to fully maximize her role in WWE. That's what made me have to step away, because it got to the point where I'm just like, they're never going to allow me to make it as good as it can be, and like, meeting them halfway in this range of mediocrity is like crushing my soul, so I can't continue to do that, so I'm going to go fucking be awesome and do other things. Despite the disappointment, she noted her time in WWE wasn't wasted, describing it as instead a learning experience she now applies to new creative outlets. We are ending today with the latest news after Hulk Hogan's passing, which was an emotional situation for everyone involved, but none more so than his family, and the fallout from it is still being felt. Hulk Hogan's son Nick is currently in the process of suing Bubba the Love Sponge in a bid to block the release of his upcoming documentary on his father, but the radio host has now fired back. On his YouTube channel, Bubba the Love Sponge claimed that Nick is suing the wrong person as he doesn't own or control the documentary in any way. He also alleged that Nick is using his father's money to fund his lawsuit. Bubba confirmed that the film is still scheduled to premiere on Friday, September 5th at a private event, while criticizing the way the lawsuit's been handled, as he hasn't been served any documents. Instead, Bubba the Love Sponge learned about the filing via TMZ, while he also questioned why his past radio clips about Hogan's health were being brought up in the case, as they have nothing to do with the documentary. He insisted that the film doesn't smear the Hulk or portray him in a bad light, and that the legal action is misguided. However, this situation is one that seems likely to worsen before improving. Speaking of people being sued, a WWE fan has filed a lawsuit against WWE after suffering serious injuries during a Monday Night Raw event in Columbus, Ohio earlier this year. The fan slipped and fell during the show on an unmarked puddle of liquid, which has left him with permanent pain and suffering, although the exact details of his injury haven't been disclosed. The fan is suing WWE, the Columbus Sports Arena, and Ohio State University, which owns the arena, as well as a health insurance provider. Since today's video is already quite lengthy, we'll be covering all of the AEW Dynamite news in tomorrow's upload. Thanks again for watching, and don't forget to tune in. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it.